We have carefully complied with state law on very specific professional qualifications and residency requirements for this board. Experience in large-scale residential, commercial, industrial, or general real estate development, community organization, financial services, economic development, a public official, and the mayor or the mayor's designee, each is represented. We also considered the restrictions on who cannot be appointed. Persons who own property, including residents within the boundary of the Port Authority, and persons affiliated with an entity that may benefit financially from being on the board of that entity. Since the state approved our application to create the Inland Port Authority, many candidates were recommended, more than 40, by City Council staff and by community leaders. After reviewing the recommendations and completing the interview, 9 were selected. It was a very deliberate decision, consistent with the process that is required for appointments to nearly all city Omaha boards and commissions. By city code and charter, and often by state statute, appointments are the administrative responsibility of the mayor with city council approval. And I'd like to repeat that. By city code and city charter, and often by state statute, appointments are administrative responsibility of the mayor and then approved by the city council. This is a practice that I have been using for 11 years as mayor and the previous mayors for decades. The city ordinance that created the Inland Port Authority affirms that process. The 9 members of the board deserve to be appointed based on their experience, their expertise, and a record of service. And this should not be personal or political.
We keep tearing down buildings, but at the same time, we're not building houses. I mean, we're taking away housing, but we're not replacing it with housing. I mean, what's all this growth? We're doing all this growth, but what good is it if you have homeless people? Who's going to benefit from this growth? And at the same time, why don't we have the people in the community that it's going to affect? Why are they not part of the board?
I feel like this is being well rushed, where people can't bring an articulable defense of their property. And there is lots of statements where people don't want to lose their housing. They don't want to lose their land. This is not the wealthiest of communities. And the people cannot afford new housing if they are pushed out. They do not want to sell their homes. And so it's going to come down to eminent domain. And with eminent domain, you're not going to get enough money to buy a house. No one's going to be able to, and we're going to be in deeper debt than we already are.
I know I come here with a lot of question. Our community is primarily residential property owners. This isn't just a bunch of vacant lots, parking lots. No, this is trees. This is green grassland and homes, acreages, generations of living in a certain area. This isn't just some new celebrity neighborhood that's wanting to be like, okay, we shouldn't have put that there. Let's do it. No, this neighborhood's been here for years. Before we belonged to the city, we've been here since the Oregon Trail. We were annexed by the city a long time ago. We've been here longer than the city of Omaha. Hartman Street is older than the city of Omaha, the street that I live on.
Well, how can this plan proceed without using eminent domain? No one wants to sell their house. Nobody wants to move. So instead of eminent domain being a last resort, it's the only resort. Every single person that lives down there is going to have to be evicted.
I own land down there. I own a business down there. And when I look at that, what is the big reach all about? Why did they go so huge in all of these places? What is the scope of this? And I just learned of this yesterday. That's why I'm not more prepared. I'm very sorry. If I'd have known more about it, we'd have been more prepared for this. But yeah, this is a rush. And once again, how can people that are there, people that own property, how can we not have a say? We have no say in this. This is the best our say is right here. And you guys either take it away from us or you give it to us. But it doesn't make sense that, I mean, just think about your own selves and your own homes. If they were making you move out of your home into wherever, because that's really what it is, wherever. And the cost of that is going to be 3 or 4 times the value of your own property. That's going to be a hardship. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be, these folks aren't billionaires. They're not high millionaires. They're doing the best they can. And to say, here, go out and get a $400,000 house, because homes are very pricey now. It's very hard. And same thing with business. You know, I don't want to lose my business.